What is up, Texas hockey fans, and welcome back to Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas hockey podcast. Last night was a bit of a dud. Game 2 in Winnipeg. Didn't get the results that us Stars fans wanted, but if I told you before this series started that you're going to win the first game in Winnipeg, you're going to go home 1-1, you're probably taking that. You may not like the results of Game 2, but it's okay. You're going back 1-1. You got home ice advantage now. Everything's going to be okay, Stars fans. But welcome to Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas hockey podcast brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix, and Prize Picks, our daily fantasy app of choice. Use code Apollo when you sign up and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. I'm your host, Stone Strenkman, joined always by Tom Garcia. How are we doing this fine Saturday morning at 10 a.m.?
We finally, tomorrow will not have a game at 9 p.m. local time. So Going back home, series tied. I'm feeling very optimistic.
I am too. So obviously we bring up the hockey stat score sheets a lot on this podcast, that the Twitter account that just tweets out metrics that I don't really understand how to read it. But if anything's positive, I know that's good. Anything's negative, I know that that's bad. There's a lot more positive in that game where we lost 4-0 and got shut out for the second time in this playoffs, which only happened once in the regular season, which was crazy. Game 80. I think it was game 80 that they got shut out against the Winnipeg Jets on April 10th. Looking at those two score sheets, the Avalanche game, everything was a minus. Everyone was a minus. Last night, a lot more positives. There was still a handful of negatives, but the stat sheet looked completely different. And I thought that game was a little bit more obtainable or in control than that Avalanche game where they got shut out 4-0. Like, there was something different about it. I don't know. It just felt better, but also worse at the same time because puck luck and offensive zone time and all these things that went into it. But what did you think about the game last night where they lost 4-0?
At least in the first two periods, I didn't feel like we were out of the game by any stretch of the imagination. It was just one of those games where Winnipeg was playing mistake-free hockey, yet they weren't making like crazy plays. They were making good, not great passes. And we said it before we started recording. That game felt like whenever it's an NBA game and the other team just nails every free throw and you're inching, but like it feels weird getting the bicycle going. I didn't see a lot of big mistakes. I didn't see the normal rushes that I see from the Dallas Stars. It's never good to start the game, 10, 20 seconds in with a 4-minute major. So, that's not going to help. But, I thought at least at the very end, Dallas kept the game in front of them. Winnipeg maybe a few times skated right past the defense, but really they kept everything in front. They just weren't getting the big open ice time that you normally see with our talented forwards.
Yeah, I thought they finally had one team finally had a really good game against Miro Heiskanen. Like, even in the Colorado series where he wasn't scoring in those first 4 games, like he looked really good. He was a force on the defensive side. He was making sure that he was getting pucks into the zone, creating space, keeping control of the puck in the offensive zone. He was doing all those kinds of things. He didn't do that as much last night. And I don't blame him. I mean, he's put the team on his back for the last how many ever games you want to say? Like, he's 15 points in the playoffs. Like, somebody else has to step up. Another line has to step up. Obviously, you can't just ride one guy to a Stanley Cup final win like we saw last year with Connor McDavid. Like, he wasn't able to do it against the Panthers. They almost did it. They forced a Game 7. They did all these things. Like, one guy can get you to that point, but getting over the hump, it requires the whole team to do it. And I thought the whole team wasn't as good as it needed to be. I think we're looking a little bit older with some of those older guys. I'm not going to say they look like Joe Pavelski last year because they don't look as slow as Joe Pavelski did last year. It looked like he was in a wheelchair out there. It was a tough sight to see, and I saw it happening, and I was terrified the entire time. And last night, Jamie Benn, Matt Duchene, Tyler Seguin, like all these guys that are a little bit older, they have been making plays all season for the most part. Jamie's second half of the season wasn't as great as he thought it was going to be, but they weren't really doing anything. Robo's just now coming back from injury. I thought he was one of the better skaters on the ice for the Stars last night. I thought Wyatt Johnston was pretty good. That showed on the hockey score stat sheet. But, it's just the bounces didn't go your way because you didn't earn your bounces. I thought Winnipeg earned their bounces. Obviously, the first goal It's kind of a wonky one, whatever. They beat Otter, went off the post, and then it just bounced right off his pad and was going right in anyway. They got the tap in, Velarde, I believe. And then the second goal, it bounces off of Vessa's skate, just like it did in game one, or Mikko Rantanen sent it off a defender's skate and went in the net. Things like that happen. It's hockey, and this team won the most games in the NHL in the regular season. Like, they're a very good team for a reason, but I thought the storyline wasn't just the puck luck. I thought it was Connor Hellebuyck. And the chances that they had, the Stars had, with relatively a wide open net, and they just weren't able to get it in because Connor Hellebuyck was doing everything. Like, Jamie Benn had a chance to tap in. If he just lifts the puck just a little bit, that's a goal. I thought Dadonov had an awesome chance, and Connor got it with the tip of his glove, and it just didn't bounce in. It bounced kind of sideways and didn't go towards the net. Wyatt Johnston had a wide open net, and Hellebuyck, from the depths of hell, I don't know how he got to that puck with everyone in his face, stops that wide open backhand from Wyatt. And it is what it is. That guy's going to do what he's going to do at home. But now you're heading back to Dallas, where Connor Hellebuyck has like a 7.39 goals allowed. And his save percentage is in the low 800s. His save percentage is in the 800s for the whole playoffs, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like 870 or 880 at home, and then it's like 810 or something, or 800 on the road. It's like really bad on the road, and it's not that great at home. So I thought he was really dialed, and you don't want to see that from Hellebuyck, but you're heading at home. He's on the road. Get AAC pumping, and maybe you get to Hellebuyck. He's a great goalie, and he really does own the Stars. I think Jake Ottinger's first career win against Winnipeg was game one. Like, I don't think he's ever beat them. And Mikko Rantanen had a hat trick, and that was the story. It's like Otter was better than Hellebuyck. I don't think that game was on Hellebuyck in game one, but same thing last night. I don't think that game's on Jake Ottinger. He's having to do what he did against Colorado in game four. It's just faced so many shots, and I thought they might pull him after the second period. They didn't do it because the game was still technically in reach. It was only 2-0, and like, you had a shot, but it's a tough game. It was a really tough game.
Yeah. And like, obviously, lucky bounces happen, but particularly that second goal in the first period where it just hits, I think it was S's skate.
Yep.
Boy, like, I've loved the way Cody Ceci has played this postseason, but if he just puts a little bit of pressure on that outlet pass, it makes it really hard to make that pass across ice. And I think that is kind of what caused that luck to happen. But yeah, man, I just, there were MVP chants, and rightfully so, dude. Connor Hellebuyck played out of his mind. Yep. These are two of the best American goalies on planet Earth. And they were showing, I mean, Ottinger still didn't have a terrible game. Like, there wasn't one goal where I was just like, man, he got fooled. Like, it was just the biggest takeaway I had from at least the first and about halfway through the second period was, normally you can get through a game with one player on a line not producing what you want, but to have an entire line really not add an edge to the game, really not have an impact, it was noticeable. And boy, that second line. Now, I don't have the numbers on this. Mikko Rantanen has been a stud whoever he plays with. I think he gets the most open ice with the fourth liners. It's dumb to say, because everyone told me that he's only good because he plays with McKinnon. But when he's with those fourth liners, they're itching and scratching and doing everything to get Mikko space, and it's working. I expect that Peter DeBoer is going to make a lot of changes in just kind of flipping everything. Rupe played a really good game, in my opinion. I don't know what the metrics say, but he plays really short shifts, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, he's on for a couple seconds and then right off. But when he's on for those couple of seconds, he does get open looks to his teammates. So if you can just have maybe a guy on each line, not bring it, but to have an entire line just kind of be a non-factor, I think that's really what was tough to watch for me.
Yeah, and I didn't think that the defense was bad. And you mentioned Cody Ceci just putting a little bit more pressure. I thought Essa was in perfect position to defend that pass, and it just so happened that it hit his skate on the wrong side of the skate, essentially, and bounced right in. It's like he's doing everything he could to make sure that cross crease pass did not get through. He did that. However, the bounce just goes right off his skate, and you create your own puck luck. It's earned, and it's not given. And Winnipeg earned theirs, and I don't think Dallas did. I don't think they put enough pressure on Hellebuck. When they did, it was once or twice a period. It wasn't enough. It wasn't consistent pressure. They had one shift, I think, that they were just hammering Hellebuck. And I was like, with all the offensive zone, they're getting the rebounds. They're passing it back out. They're getting more shots on net. They were doing that. I think they only did that one time throughout the entire game. Might have been the second period. And yeah, Hellebuck was really good. And I thought Otter was good. I don't think he was really good, but I thought he was good. I don't think you can really blame him. They beat him one time on the first goal, and it hit the post, and it bounces back in off his skate. So it is what it is. The last time they got shut out, though, they scored 9 seconds into the game. Then Thomas Harley hit a pop fly to center field, went in the net, and then you win that game 5-2. And it's just, you expect that response in game 3. It is a 3:30 game in Dallas. So afternoon games typically not very fun for the Stars in the regular season, but it's the playoffs now, and they can get up for that one and get up early because they don't score in the first period. They saw that last night. I think they had before the first goal, maybe it was 8-3 first period scoring in the playoffs against them. Like, not good. You don't put up a lot of goals in the first period, and you let in a lot more goals in the first period than you're scoring. So it's not good, but they can get off to a hot start and just get that first goal in the first 10 minutes, get to Hellebuck quickly. I think if you let him just not see a lot of shots in the first 10 minutes or so, he can just dial in after that. Like, he just eases into the game. First few shots, he's like, all right, I got it. All good. If you can get to him pretty early, put a lot of pressure on him in the first 5 to 10 minutes, I think you got a really good shot at winning that game. Maybe Miro Heiskanen comes back. Maybe not. He's been day-to-day for 2.5 weeks. We were saying that pre-pod. And if you can get Miro back, obviously things look a lot different. And I don't want to take Petrovic out because last night was really fun from that deep pairing. It's been really fun this whole playoffs. They've been really good outside of the first maybe game or two. I thought they've been stellar since then. Petrovic sends their captain Lowry into the benches. Like, it's just Bischel and Petro just like, hey, captain, you're going to the bench, buddy. It's over. Your shift's done. Get in the bench. Call it night. Because Bischel did that to Shin earlier for against the Blues in the regular season, one of his first few games when he came back up. And yeah, that line's been really good. They were getting in people's heads. They're hitting people really hard too. Like, I thought the one thing that they didn't do that they probably needed to do last night was hit Morrissey. He has an upper body injury. You don't know if it's his chest or shoulder or whatever, but go throw some hits on him. If he's got the puck on the boards, like, just go throw a hit. Even if you get a boarding call, whatever it is, just like, make sure he knows that y'all are aware that he's hurting and making sure that you're trying to inflict a little bit more pain to him to knock him off his game a little bit. Thought they weren't very physical outside of that bottom deep pairing. And yeah, it was a less than subpar game for the Dallas Stars. And I thought Winnipeg played good. I don't think they played great. And if that's what Winnipeg is at their best in this series, you're going to win this series pretty quickly. Because the Stars aren't going to play like that for another 2 games, I don't believe. So take it. You're 1-1 heading back home. I can't complain too much.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think that's the best Connor Hellebuck we're going to see. I know it was a shutout, but man, we had open looks, and he did his thing, but also we missed the net a few times. And I don't expect to see that at home, especially with that juice we're going to have. Home ice playoff Ottinger is a real thing. He's going to play great. I know he will. I'm just seeing, the deep pairings, they have to, just with Miro out, and Marchment came back. I know he got hurt at one point.
He looked fine in the third period as well.
Yeah. So just as long as they can keep their legs and keep the game in front of them, I see it tough scoring for Winnipeg. Now, Winnipeg, I have to tip their cap because they were laying some hits, man. They were laying big hits, small hits. They were always laying hits. And it was like a boxing fight where someone's going to the body, throwing the jab, and they're just kind of wearing you out to a point where you're down on the scorecard and you have to empty the tank to come back, and there's not a lot left in the tank. And it was a very good strategy for Winnipeg. The whiteout is crazy, but they wear blue jerseys at home.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it, but also I saw in Dallas, we had 5,000 people in front of AAC for a watch party. That Dallas is a hockey town. Texas is a hockey state. I don't want to hear otherwise from the people up north. You're about to hear a crowd Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day. And it's, I think Granlund or Rupe, they're going to send all the moms over in the great country of Finland happy.
I hope so. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm just curious what Stars show up like outside of Mikko Rantanen, because they shut down Mikko pretty good in game 2. They were doing all the things to make sure that he wasn't able to get the space that he had been earning, to keeping him off the puck. They were doing everything, and he had a number of power plays last night that he didn't score on. It's just, he did a lot of things wrong, and they did a lot of things right. And you had the chances, you had the power plays, you just had opportunities here and there, and it didn't work out. You had open nets here and there, and I think he had 3 incredibly high danger chances, and it didn't work out. So if you can create more than 3 high danger chances in a game, chances are you're going to score a few. So yeah, I don't know. Sunday afternoon, game 4, heading back home. You split 1-1 on the road in a place that you didn't win this season, in a place that you don't typically win or play well in general. And I think at home, if you can get that Hellebuck that they saw in St. Louis, it's not going to be a pretty game for the Jets. Like, if you get that Hellebuck, but he just had one of the best games he's probably had in his playoff career, honestly, in game 2. So try to get to him quickly. Try to get him to him fast. And in the first 10 minutes, if you can get to him, then the game can stand on its head. Like, then you can just do whatever you want after that. I think everyone starts to play on their heels. They're trying to defend better and do all those things instead of trying to attack. But yeah, you take a 4-minute double minor with 17 seconds into the game from Seguin, and he thought he got under the stick. He was above it. Then it goes up. Obviously, that's going to be high sticking. Sucks. It was a shitty start, and you almost killed it off. I think there's only 45 seconds left in the 4 minutes, and they scored that goal where they just barely beat Otter off the post, bounces off his skate. So game is immediately just turned on its head 3.5 minutes into the game. So I just think we need another line. You can't have Mikko Rantanen do everything for you. Can a Duchesne or a Tyler Seguin or a Wyatt Johnston, just someone else, can they score that first goal again like they did in game 5 against Colorado Avalanche? Like, Wyatt Johnston scores 9 seconds into the game, and you're like, okay, now we go. You got a 1-0 lead. This game's completely different, and it's 9 seconds into the game. Like, the game hadn't even really started yet, and you're already up 1-0. So can you get to him fast? Can you get to him in the first 10 minutes? And then the game just kind of falls into your hands after that. Then you get to do whatever you want because they're playing from behind, so they're pressing on defense, trying to get open looks up the ice, and then they make mistakes, and then you kind of compound those into open chances for you. The game can go quite differently quite fast if you do that. But got to get past Hellebuck. He's going to win his 3rd Vezina. He's nuts. He's great in game 2. I thought he was really good in game 1. It just, the bounces didn't go his way. I don't think that game 1 was on him. I thought it was on the defense. So game 3, can you win that one? And then you're looking at game 4, you're like, okay, well, we could just take the series right now. Like, you just win that one, and you only got to win 1 more out of 3. Chances are you're probably going to do that. So go earn it. Go do it fast. And I think things look a lot different after game 3. An afternoon game, 3:30. We're going to record right after the game when I get home. I'm going to be in my suit probably not even going to change. It's going to be great. I can't wait to talk about it. Hopefully it's another win.
Yeah, and, thinking about last night's game, Winnipeg started off that game so loose. They were, in the playoffs, I think every team were human. They're going to be really tense. And Dallas played a little less tense than normal, just because they know they always start bad. But yeah, you could notice how loose Winnipeg was playing, not afraid to make those passes, not afraid to go get a puck when you needed to. And I think at home, and that when you hear that Stars chant during the national anthem, I think that's what Dallas is going to have. And if you get a loose Dallas, that's when Duchesne has the puck at the spot where he wants it. That's when Johnston has the puck behind the net ready to make a great pass. That's when Rupe rifles one bar down. Like, this home crowd is going to eat, particularly Winnipeg's blue line. And you continue to put pressure. I see Dallas. I don't think this one's going to be close. Really, I don't. I think game 3, I think it's going to be a 4-1. I think it's going to be a 3-0. Hopefully it's a 3-0 because I would love to see Otter get a shutout. And I think he can because, dude, he's been playing really good hockey. So I'm excited, man. I'm just excited.
Yeah, this team doesn't take 2 bad losses in a row, hardly ever. If they do, it was the end of the regular season, 7 games left. You already locked in your playoff spot. You already knew that you're going to play Colorado at home. Like, you already knew all those things. Those games didn't matter because you knew the objective is to win 16 games come late April into June. So, yeah, it's 4-0. One was an empty netter. You only beat them 3 times. They put a lot of pressure on them, but they weren't a ton of shots. Thought that was kind of an issue. It's just they had a lot of block shots. They did a lot of good things. They just didn't. They won all the faceoffs last night. They had like an 80-something percentage on the faceoffs last night, which I thought was incredible because we haven't won faceoffs really all playoffs. And then all of a sudden you win the faceoffs by that much, and then you don't win anything else in the game. That was kind of the. Did we just focus on faceoffs and practice beforehand and then forget about everything else? I don't know. It is what it is. You're going home 1-1. You got 2 games at home now. You can win the series in 3 games if you wanted to. Like, if they really play on their toes for those next 2 games at home, where you got a 3:30 start and a 7 o'clock start, it's not playing at 9 p.m. You're not doing any of that. You got a shot, and you could just go win the series pretty quickly if you play your best hockey. And we did not play our best hockey last night, and I don't think Winnipeg played their best hockey. But if that's what they can provide in the second round against the Stars, and that's the best that they've got, you're winning the series.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. It was such an it's a game that all of these playoffs, I've watched 90% of this Stanley Cup playoffs this season, and that one stands out as just the kind of like in a boxing fight when nobody's really opening up and it's just a jab fest. That's what it felt like. And then somebody wins on points. Every other NHL game has been insane this postseason. Our Colorado series being the second most to Winnipeg St. Louis series. But yeah, I don't expect the rest of the series to be like this. I expect it to definitely amp up. And you said it perfectly, dude. Like, after a win, we don't smell the roses. After a loss, we get over it quick, and we're on to playing Dallas Stars hockey again. So I know Peter DeBoer is going to get those guys ready to play Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, never too high, never too low. We saw what happened in Game 5 after they got shut out against Colorado. It's happened fast and it was quick. Like, you're up 2-0, then you're up 3-0. They come back 3-2, and then you're like, it's okay, guys. Not a worry here. We'll get one here, and then we'll get another one in the third period and be an empty netter, and it'll be fine. 5-2 was that win. I expect something like that because they're going to come out on their toes. They're going to come out swinging. They're going to come out hitting. They're going to do all the things that they didn't do in Game 2. In Game 3, can you make sure that the bounces go your way? That's kind of what it all boils down to, because bounces are how you win playoff games. It's you earn your own puck luck, obviously. You create it and you earn it. Can you go create and earn your own puck luck in that first period? If you can get that in the first period, I don't think this team is like susceptible to giving up leads at the end now. It's just kind of how it is. Like, the defense is too good, even without Miro Heiskanen. If you get him back in Game 3, Game 4, maybe Game 5, like, you're going to get one of the best defensemen. I was looking at Miro's numbers yesterday. I was just like, all right, let's just pull up Miro's numbers, because I was curious why he's never won a Norris. And I get Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes, whatever. He had 73 points, I believe, in like 2022, maybe 2023. 61 assists, I believe, or 62 assists and 11 goals. Like, he didn't even get top 3 in the Norris that year.
Jesus.
And I was like, he's the best defenseman out of that group, because Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar can't hold a candle to Miro Heiskanen. It's just defense alone. And then you're putting up 73 points and you're not even top 3. That was alarming to me. I saw that and I was like, this is probably the best defenseman in the league, defensive-wise. And then if he had 73 points to that, you're like, okay, that's probably just the best guy in the world at defense. And he didn't get top 3. Thought that was weird.
I mean, so I'm seeing, like, with Thomas Harley now, he's kind of getting that praise that every Dallas Stars fan has been giving him, and like the national media is starting to get it. Miro had to go through that for a while. Like, everybody here in Dallas knows Miro's Miro, and it's kind of Hakeem Olajuwon here in Houston. I love. If there's anything good to watch on YouTube, it's old heads debating like old basketball tropes, like, was Shaq the best center? And because it's so subjective. But here in Houston, like Hakeem, he won't vouch for himself. He's too humble. He's too polite. he will not go out and tell people how great he was. Hakeem Olajuwon was like top 10 in every stat when he retired. Steals, rebounds, blocks, points, free throws, like one of the best players ever, but he's so into his faith and he's so nice that he didn't want a statue of himself out of the Toyota Center because he thought that people would be praising him and not the team he was a part of. Miro's kind of that way in that, like, you know, his personality. We know how good he is, dude. And we know he's the elite of the elite. And when he comes back, I don't know when, but the Winnipeg Jets are going to feel how good he is.
Also saw a TikTok this morning, some hockey account. I can't remember who it was. But they did too early Conn Smythe predictions, top 5. Thomas Harley was 5. Thought that was interesting. Mikko was obviously 1 because he's got the most points, the most goals. He's got all the things. And he's got the game winners. He's got hat tricks. He's got all those things. But I thought that was interesting that even with only like 6 points in 8 games before last night, obviously 6 points in 9 games now, thought that was cool to have him in the top 5 Norris or in the top 5 Conn Smythe ranking from just a random account. It had a lot of followers. I don't know who it is, but thought that was interesting to see him. He's getting all the praise because he does the things on offense that Miro did early in his career, I think, creating puck luck and shooting pucks towards the net, whereas Miro this season, before he got hurt, was a little bit more passive, a little bit more safe. Then I saw a clip, I think Michael Dixon from The Ticket tweeted it out. It was his first playoff game against Nashville in 2019 as a rookie. Got the first goal, got a second goal, got a second assist. Like, he did all those things in that first playoff game as a rookie. Like, he's 19, 18 years old. Like, he's so young. And he did all those things. I was like, if we can get that version of Miro back, like, it's not even close any of the games because he's going to play the best defense you've ever seen. And then if he's scoring goals or getting assists and he's being proactive on the offensive side, holy, that would be cool. But we just don't know when he's coming back. I couldn't tell you. I just have no idea at this point. I really thought, having seen him in morning skate before they went to Winnipeg and practice and everything, I was like, all right, he probably doesn't play game 1, but he probably plays game 2. And now I'm just like, I don't know when he's going to play. I have no idea when Miro Heiskanen is going to play. And no one does, except for Pete DeBoer and Miro Heiskanen probably. So I don't know.
Like, so you're a part of the, you know, boots on the ground Dallas media. And man, the Stars, I remember thinking it was kind of crazy when Dumba got hurt and nobody knew how, nobody knew why, nobody knew what happened. With this one, dude, it's like I see every like Stars reporter at practice saying like, listen, my eyes are not fooling me. He looks good out there. Like, he looks ready, but they keep things close like a vest, man. It's got to be tough being a media member of the Dallas Stars because one day you don't know if Peter DeBoer is just not going to give you a straight answer. And there's a lot of players on this team that, you know, are very quick with their answers. But then, like, to have to, you know, I think the Texans do it too, where it's like, as far as medicals go, you're not going to get anything. And I mean anything, dude.
It's really impressive. Me and Sam were talking to Maverick Bork after the trade for Mikko in practice when they were there for a few days before they left on the rest of the road trip. And we were like, what do you think about the trade? Like, obviously Stankoven was your buddy, like roommate, practice buddy, like always doing all the drills together, pre-practice, post-practice. They're always together. I'm like, how do you feel about that? And he was like, I thought it was like really disappointing because this organization doesn't let things leak out. So I don't know who tweeted it out, if it was Carolina's people that tweeted it or got it to a leak, essentially, that Logan Stankoven is probably part of the package 12 hours or so before the trade happens. And he thought it was really interesting because Jim Nill and company do not let anything get out, whether it's a trade, a free agent signing. You don't know anything until basically the Stars tweet it out. Like, we'll know whenever Miro's ready because he has to go off of LTIR. That will be updated on NHL immediately. They won't make a press release probably until after that happens. So if you're paying attention to the LTIR watch, you'll probably see it before it's ever tweeted out or anything. But that's the only way that we'll know that Miro Heiskanen is coming back, is if he is lifted off of LTIR.
Yeah, and I just have to think there's got to be the right reason as to why, if he doesn't play a game, dude, the pop that crowd would have if he's out there for when they announce the start. Ooh, But like I said, it's completely up in the air, man. I have no idea. And if Bischel's still laying out those hits like that, and dude, I say this all the time. When he has the puck, he does a good it's like Amen Thompson where he's like, "I'm not gonna shoot this three-pointer. I know I'm not good at it, so let me just pass it off quick." That's dude, when he has the puck, he's really nice with it, and, he knows to get it off the stick and keep it moving, man. But those deep pairings would be nasty with Miro coming back, especially the power play.
I thought Bischel was exceptionally good last night. Just with
Yeah,
hits,
man.
with good defense, with getting pucks out of the zone, skating around people, like deking people out. Like he's doing all these things that we haven't seen from him all season, really, until the playoffs started. And he's doing it a little bit latter half of the season, the last few games. But since the playoffs started, I thought he's been very, very good. Like for a rookie that's never played in the playoffs before, he's 6'7". He knows he's the agitator on the team. He knows his role to go hit people and get under their skin a little bit. But he's doing all these other things too. He's getting shots from the point. He's getting shots from the slot. Like he's doing a lot of extra things that we didn't know that he could do before the playoffs started. And he's doing it on a regular basis and making it look like he's done it for the last 5 to 10 years. And it's incredible that he's 20 years old and he's a rookie and he's playing with an AHL defenseman with him, a career AHL defenseman. That's never really come up in the regular season and has only played playoff games. It's outstanding play from Bischel, but you add a top 5 defenseman in the league into that lineup, you're like, okay, I'll take that all day long. I will take Miro Heiskanen back. I want him back so bad, and I just don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah, man. So for the time being, I'm just gonna act like he's not coming back game 3.
Yep.
The start of this game is gonna be so important, and I need that AAC to be bringing it. I need the backup goalie chance. I need the Dallas Stars national anthem to be popping. I need the juice, dude. I need it.
And it's a Sunday afternoon, so you don't have to worry about school the next day because you're going to get home by 8 p.m. at the latest. So like even if you just hang out for a while, you're not going to get home late. Like the kids can come, the fans should be out there. You get an early night, you can go get hammered and then go home and sleep it off. Like you're not going to be hungover the next morning because you're not staying out till midnight. Like you got all those things working for you. So the crowd should be popping at AAC on Sunday afternoon tomorrow. We'll recap that game after I get home from the press and all that kind of stuff after the game. So it'll be a little bit late night episode, but we'll make sure to get it up ASAP for all those Stars fans out there, especially if it's a win. I'm not going to wait to get that out to you guys. So Clean Sheet Advice, the Texas Hockey Podcast, is brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here, so go get it wherever you get it. I get it at Target. You can get it at the liquor store. It's always there. It's always available. America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Zing Zang. Zang responsibly. And shout out to Prize Picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. You hit more or less on every stat, every game, every night, every player. I'm going to hit the more than on points for Wyatt Johnston. I got a feeling it's going to be him. He's going to get that first goal. I'm going to hit the more than on goals or points. I don't know which one yet for Wyatt Johnston. Use code Apollo when you sign up with Prize Picks and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. Dom, thank you for joining me. New listeners, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on Apollo HOU's YouTube. Hit that subscribe button on Apple or Spotify podcasts or wherever else you get podcasts. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas Hockey Podcast.